We're not going live.
Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast. Are you ready to greet Ed, Rich, Crow, and Pete as they talk Evercade? Good times will never fade. Put away the switchblade, sheath the sword of Vienna. Stop the blaster master, there's no enemy below as we dip into euphoria. Turn on, tune in, and do it fast. It's time for the Evercast.
I want the full song. Let the full song play. That song is so awesome.
Well, do you want people just sitting around waiting for the song to finish, before we actually start?
I know, but it's such a cool song.
Why
Is
not?
there a full song yet? Like a full
First
song?
show of the new year. People get some tunes in.
Welcome everybody to the Evercade podcast. All four of us are here. How y'all doing?
What's going on? What's going
Everybody
on?
doing good?
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hello.
The timing was perfect for this because I've been printing something for the last day and a half, and it literally just finished right when we started.
That's awesome.
Damn.
Well, I find out when you have multiple colors, it takes way longer than if you do single color.
Yeah. I don't have a multicolor printer thingy.
Well, I just got one, so I've been
Yeah.
testing it out.
That's
so
awesome.
It came with filament that was specific for supports. So I wanted to try it. And,
Oh, nice.
And every single layer it has to switch back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes forever.
But it does it on its own?
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't require me to do anything.
That's awesome. That's very, very cool. So how's everyone doing, man? You're hanging in?
Yeah,
Yes.
I guess.
Ready for a new year of Evercade awesomeness?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. It's January. Can you believe it? 2025.
Yeah.
I know.
All
The
sorts
odd
of
number
crazy
years
stuff.
are the best, especially the ones that end in 5s.
Is that true?
For me, it is.
No, I'm just glad. I should be getting my Toplin 4 replacement cart today. I do.
Oh, sweet. You needed a replacement?
Yeah, I don't like. It was working fine, and then the last time when I used, I don't know if I made it. I put in Toplin 3 and 4 to unlock a hidden game. Don't have any idea if that had anything to do with it. And then when I went streaming, like that next Friday, it didn't work, and I was pretty bummed.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, no, I've been a little unlucky, but I will say, Video Games Plus, like I sent an email that Sunday, they responded Monday. Like I already created a video showing that it didn't work in any of my things.
What happened? What didn't work for you?
Toplin 4.
Oh, really? I haven't.
Yes.
Mine. I haven't unboxed yet.
Yeah, it worked for like a few. It worked for like a few days, and then it wasn't detected at all.
Why do you keep breaking your stuff?
But they replaced it. Right? I mean, they have excellent customer service, and they replaced it. You just have to show a video of proof, and But I am hoping that this next year maybe we see. It happens low enough with me, and I'll see posts on various social media platforms. Some people blow it out of proportion, but I do think there needs to be something a little bit better Q&A or something. I don't know.
Well, you said it worked when you got it, right?
Yeah.
And it just stopped working. So
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm wondering if something happened where your cartridge got corrupted since you could write to it. So it would have mattered. I don't think any amount of QC would have caught something like that because it would have looked like the cartridge worked.
Right.
If there indeed was something wrong with the cartridge. It could have been something else. It could have been something with your system, too, writing to the cartridge.
Yeah.
And this is, and it's not the first time that's happened, but it doesn't happen that frequently. But that's something just to keep in mind. Like, if it happens again, if it's happening on the same system, maybe there's something up with the system or the firmware or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Better not.
Yeah. But they've had that problem a while since forever with games not working, right? Like, so is it the quality process, like how they the cart process, like the memory, the silicon? What's like happening there?
I think it's just something having to do with the software. Because since these cartridges are cartridges you could write to,
Yeah.
so if something happens during the write, it could corrupt the whole cartridge, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it's a
And
trade-off.
I know this because when I made my Evercade adapter, I made the cable too long, and that was actually what was corrupting the cartridges, me having too long of a cable, and it was not reading the files correctly.
Really?
Yeah.
I've had it happen a couple times, and then I just complained and got new ones. Like, so
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate.
Yeah, it's been more of an inconvenience, but I don't know if it's quality control or just the way that they're designed.
I think it's design. I think the cartridge was perfectly fine when it got to you.
Or at least if you could download and like just like re-image the cart like.
Well, I can do that. That's why the first thing I do is back up the cart.
Yeah. No, but you're the only person I know that has that adapter, and they're not going to sell adapters like that because then people would be able to do piracy.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, it's there's somebody I was listening to a podcast. I don't remember which one it was. Probably Retro Titans, and I don't remember who said it, but they had made themselves an adapter as well, and they were offering a service saying, "Hey, if your Evercade cartridge is like toasted or something like that, send me the cartridge, and I might be able to fix it. You know, it's not guaranteed, but I might be able to bring it back to life." But he's had people come to him and be like, "Hey, could you put? I know this is like the Atari Collection 1, but could you put the Technos Collection on it?" And he's like, "No."
Right?
He could, but he's not going to do that.
Yeah. After you
That's
get in trouble. You know what? Let's say hello to the chat real quick. We got some people. We got Rasta, we got Spins, channel members like Lloyd R. Jim. I'm fan of fiction. I said it wrong so many times. I still have difficulty. We have the infamous Ian Hoppies. Hey, Victus. We have Nico. We have Genejoke. Woohoo! Yeah, everybody loves your music, by the way.
Yes.
Good boy.
I want the full version.
Lots
It's
of
good times.
course. I do have the full versions of all the songs. The problem is, like StreamYard. Well, there's limitations of StreamYard, but
Should drop them in our Discord.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I just like the tune. I thought it's pretty cool too.
It's awesome. Oh, the podcast is Retro Titans.
Retro Titan.
Yeah, it was Retro Titans. I just don't remember
Or Retro Titans.
who it was specifically.
Retro Titan.
Yeah. No, and their system, I don't know. It may require a redesign. I wish that what they could do. I wish that it would be something like the like there's two partitions, one for all the data, and that's write protected. And then if a cart needs to be updated, then it removes the removes the write protection. Then does I don't know, something like that. And then have the file phase.
What they could do is actually make a portion of the card read only. And
Yeah.
like I was saying, but again, I wonder if there's issues with some cartridges not having room to have a whole backup built into the cartridge. Yeah. But if they could have a whole backup built into the cartridge, you could then have the option to say restore cartridge back to factory default or something.
Mm.
That would be good. Yeah, except for the Giga carts. But yeah, that would be good.
Giga.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I haven't even
you could
looked
have a
mine. Now I'm
Giga
worried.
cart. You could have a Giga cart. You have a double Giga cart. You know.
All right, but they're sending you a new one, right?
Yeah. It's a new one, so
Very good. Yeah, I'm now worried. I'm gonna do my videos today and tomorrow, hopefully. Because I just got them, but I got them for when on holiday, so I wasn't gonna rush them. That's for sure.
I should have done one on the dual cart, but just like lately, I haven't been interested in playing like Metroidvanias and like.
Yeah, I'm kind of burnt out on those too. My cousin wanted to open them when he was here when we were playing. He goes, "Hey, you got this DC?" I'm like, "No, those do not open those."
Oh, I got an interesting story. Actually, I don't know if you guys probably did. I told Ed the other week, but I actually sold 2 of my pinball machines, and I've been selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, cool.
And the one guy came over, and he wanted to buy one thing, but he asked me if I had anything else. So I invited him in, and he was looking, and he saw the Evercade stuff. He's like, "What's this Evercade stuff? I saw this at Play and Trade, but I had no idea what it was." So I had to explain to him what it was.
Did you sell him your Evercade?
No, I'm not selling anything Evercade.
Yeah, it's funny. I was out game hunting this weekend with my cousin to about 5 different stores, and I came across somebody who's selling the OG Evercade loose, the white model, like the old the handle for $239.
Wow.
Is this on Facebook Marketplace?
No, this is at a game store.
Oh, at a game store.
And I saw Evercade, the original VS, the OG VS, the white one, on sale for like $299.
Wow, maybe I'll sell mine.
Yeah,
if I get 300.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But the fact that I start seeing it now in the game stores up here, it's kind of wild too.
It was funny. I was also selling like a Pong console, but I put like a little video on there showing it working. And somebody messaged me yesterday, "Hey, are you selling that TV?" It's like, no, but if I was offered an obscene amount of money, I probably will.
Right? Everything is a price. Yeah. No, I was going to say, Hector, don't burn your house down. No, because this is of 1,000 candles. No, wait up for SNK cards. Don't want portable machines. Yeah. No, I hear you. It should be exciting. And then, what is it? Luke. I guess he was asking, like, aside from Indie Heroes 4, I guess he was saying, will be some big, like, 2025 titles aside from SNK. I can tell you who we're not going to get. I'll see if you guys, I'm pretty sure we're not going to get Sega. Like, I'm almost 100% positive.
Hey, never say never. There was a day I would have said that Nintendo would have never had Sega.
No, but like, there's a few main reasons for, like, unfortunately, Sega's the one company that, like, they do bad decisions, which really sucks, right? And that's why, like, you know, they are where they are today. The second reason is that there was like a Guardian article where Sega said, like, we're not a retro company. So
yeah, well, then they do this deal with My Arcade the very next day. So,
and that's the third. So that's the third reason. So instead of like, Sega, they're choosing to go with, like, I don't know. My Arcade is low quality, all right. Like, those machines, and they're gonna milk it, and they'll probably put a few games on each machine instead of having something cool like carts. So I don't think we'll see Sega.
Hey, those things are still expensive for what they are. $40 for each one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually not sure about that, because even though Sega is like, yeah, we're not a retro company, and yeah, at the same time they're doing this deal with My Arcade, Sega likes money, you know, and they've got a lot of properties that they're messing around with in the other medium space. So I wouldn't be surprised if something didn't change their mind in the next year or two for them to, like, continue to put out things on any platform they could possibly get to, which would include Evercade. So I'm in the never say never camp. Like, it's unlikely, I would say, probably this year for 25, but I would absolutely say definitely never say never on that, because, you know, it behooves Sega to keep the money coming in, and by all means necessary. So, eventually this platform, the Evercade, might be a platform where, well, we're the only ones not on it, so might as well just get on. You know what I mean?
That would be nice.
It's starting to get that way for some of the big big publishers. Because look at the library. The library's getting insane. So
license.
I would say never.
Then they removed a bunch of their, like, you know, they removed a bunch of their digital collections and everything. So I don't know what's
don't believe anything anybody ever says.
Right.
Yeah. They don't like
until it's official. Until it's official, it's all speculation, right?
Well, I'm also basing it off history, right? Like, if you all haven't, like, watched, like, Game Changers on HBO, it's like an awesome kind of, like, video game, retro game documentary. And the big issue with Sega, so, like, for as much, like, issues that I have with Nintendo, I will say, like, Nintendo Japan, they understood, like, America and the culture and what games and, you know, and other parts of the country. But, like, when Sega was split, I can't remember his name, but when they hired the guy in the United States to be, like, the CEO, his main condition was, you guys have to give me freedom to do whatever I want. And they did. When they did that, then, like, Sega was, you know, they were good. And then once he left, is kind of like, Sega of Japan, unfortunately, is, like, out of touch with like USA. They don't have the finger on the pulse like, you know, Nintendo does. And I hate that, because I like Sega. Like, I hate that so much. But it's just, that's why I just say it's Sega being Sega. I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong about this, like, so bad. I would love Sega, but I think for me, like if we got Konami, I would be more excited because that would also mean like Turbo Graphics, and that would open up. That would open up a big thing.
I don't think Nintendo to me doesn't have their like none of those companies, big companies like Sony or Microsoft. I don't think they really know. Well, they don't know what I want in a game console.
Well, I was kind of more referring to then, like with like Nintendo. Let me start in Japan. Like they redesigned the Famicom and they called it like the Nintendo Entertainment System. And
Yeah, but you're talking about 40 years ago.
Yes.
Think about
But
now.
Even now with the Switch, I mean, I hate to say it, but like they know what the mainstream. I mean, they've made a lot of money off of that. You know what I mean?
Made a lot of money, but it was almost outdated when it was released, and now it's really outdated.
Yeah.
We'll see what their Switch 2 is, but I doubt it's gonna make me want one.
No. But I'm just saying, like if Sega, if they released a modern retro console, they would make so much money, but they won't for whatever reason. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's because their licensing has been making them all the money. There's no need to get back in the hardware game for them.
Does the Genesis Mini count as hardware?
I mean, technically, yeah. I would say yes, but in that same interview, they heavily implied that they're not going to do that again. You know, so then
they don't need to. They already put out 2.
Yeah, well, no, everyone's been harping on them about Dreamcast and Saturn Mini.
I think that would be a ways off. I mean, currently their plans are not to do one, but things could change a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line.
I completely agree with you.
There'd be a change in management, and somebody would be like, "Hey, let's put out since the technology's here now, and we can make it cheap enough. Let's put out a mini Dreamcast or even a mini Saturn, if that's even could be a thing,
Right.
So, do we think SNK will pave the way? Like, if it does, like if Evercade does it smart.
Yes.
Like I have faith that they will. Do you think that maybe will pave the way? We'll just say, oh my God, SNK, they sold carts,
100%. Everybody that's getting success, opens the doors for other people that may have shunned Blaze in the past. And then it'd be like, oh, well, these other guys just made a whole bunch of money with them. I want to get on that. I want to get on that train. I'm 100%. I absolutely believe that, if they put out, I mean, if anybody puts out a knockout product and everybody flocks to it and, you get some good licensing deals and then more people get interested in the console, of course, you're going to want to get in the game, so.
So here's what I think they're going to do. And there we go. So my cock hurts. Like that Neo Geo SNK, they're going to have an alpha. They'll have super pockets, probably an EXP, maybe VS. It'll have that kind of skin.
I don't think there'll be an alpha unless the alpha sold well.
But
for SNK,
but hear me out. And then when you boot it up, it's gonna have that like the feature that SNK, like that 15-second trailer that they teased. It'll have that, and it'll be all custom. I think they will. They would be dumb not to do like an alpha SNK because that is like an arcade, and they've already invested a lot in arcade.
It would finally select if they announce one this year. It's like, hey, there's going to be an SNK Alpha. I'm getting one. I'll say that right now.
But you don't already have one.
I don't already.
What about the people that already have one? The people that already were interested, already bought one, and they're going to want to buy another one?
I don't know if they're going to want to buy another one, but
exactly.
Yeah, I waited. This was my waiting game year on hardware, except for the EXPR. I bought it on a whim just because I wanted to see what the difference was. And outside of a few minor things, it's not that much, but yeah. So I really think though that's gonna happen. I really think that because they did the alpha, I think it opened the door to get SNK in to begin with.
I hope so.
Theory.
Yeah,
now, I could be completely wrong. They could have just had that work in for years, and it just finally locked in place. But I have a funny feeling that it's because they went ahead to try to do the alpha that happened in the first place.
They might have, yeah. But I mean, I think they would be dumb not to go full on arcade, right? And so here's what I think they're going to do, because the one thing And I don't think I'm wrong in this statement. I want to say of all the retro nostalgias and genres, arcade is the one thing globally that everybody remembers and everybody can relate to. Like even your parents, right? Like they played like Pac-Man and all that. Like I'll say that like I think arcade is the most popular like retro experience. Like kind of like regardless of where you live in the world.
Well, you're thinking about you have to go generation by generation because I doubt the last 2 generations even have ever been in an arcade.
But they wouldn't. But they're not the customer though for this product. But I don't disagree. But so I think because of that, and I think we're going to see lesser bluer carts. I think they're going to go more in on purple.
I think there'll be more bluer carts.
Yeah, no, they got to get at least to 10, and I think their goal is to get to 20 on each 20 arcade, 20
If
20 computer
anything,
by the end.
I think they'll still continue putting out more red carts than anything else.
100%. Now they got to get to 50. They're at 42. They got to get to 50.
Oh, Hector, I didn't want to think we don't have numbers on sales except a million. They haven't done alphas, in my opinion. Like Neo Geo, they've released mini consoles, but they're crap. Like they don't look anything really like it. They don't look like the quality.
And Blaze made one of them.
Yeah, they're not that good. They're really not. They're just like. I mean, they play. Then that they play game. There's better ways to play Neo Geo. But anyways,
well, then you got the Neo Geo Mini.
I think we'll see 2 blue carts. I think we'll see 6 purple carts, or at least 6 SNK carts. Maybe I don't know. I could be wrong, but
6 by the end of 26.
Yeah.
In the next 2 years.
What?
In the next 2 years, you're saying 6 Neo Geo carts? Okay.
Well,
I would go as high as 8. And you know what? I'd split them. You do 4 red and 4 purple.
That'd be amazing.
Neo Geo?
Yeah. Why not?
Why even bother with a red one? Just
purple.
Just do them all purple?
Yeah.
Two of them could be the Neo Geo pocket colors.
The only red ones I would want to see were the NES games that SNK put out, like Baseball Stars and what else did they do? Like I don't know. They did a bunch of NES games, so that would be the only red card. But if you're gonna do like the actual Neo Geo stuff, don't. Honestly, what I would prefer to see if they would put those games on with Unibios, so you had the option to change whatever region you wanted. And the thing was, is like I asked in the past, why didn't they do multiple regions? Like, why couldn't you provide a game and give us the option for which reason, Japan or US or Europe or whatever? And the answer was, it was because it was considered to be a separate game and it would require an additional license. But I was thinking about this the other day, the Neo Geo cartridges had every region built into the ROM. It was built onto the cartridge. So would that still require different, a license for each region, or could you just use one license because the whole ROM had every single region already on it?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it would be. Or they could, who knows? They might choose to make like black and gold carts. I mean, they may choose to make a dedicated Neo Geo thing for collectors. I'd be fine with that either way.
Honestly, I think they should just ditch the color system because they've already broken it.
Yeah.
That would make me sad.
But I don't think we'll see NES as much because I think they would, and rightfully so. I think they'd be criticized like, why are you giving us the NES ports? We want the arcade ports because there's like such a big difference, right?
Well, I mean, there is a big difference, yes, and actually SNK has arcade games before the Neo Geo, so I wouldn't mind seeing those as well. They actually had a whole collection with just those pre-SNK arcade Neo Geo games or whatever. So I wouldn't mind seeing a variety of it, not just Neo Geo.
I think based on the press release, though, I think they're going to mainly do arcade because they talk about King of the Fighters, Metal Slug.
Yeah, they did, but still, I as much as I like the Neo Geo games, I wouldn't mind seeing the Baseball Stars NES version. I used to play that in a Play Choice 10 back in the day.
Nice.
Lot of arcade.
Yeah, Play Choice 10 is pretty cool.
Can you use your ad names to each host? Huh?
Can you add your names to each host? Wait, I think we'll see SNK Alpha or whatever form factor, beta large something. Agree that. Lastly, can you add your names to each host? Oh, I think he wants to see our names on the screen.
Oh, so there's kind of a reason. So actually, so our YouTube channels are in the description. I think we don't do that on purpose. It uses up a lot of real estate, and it doesn't look as good. So it's like technically we could. I think if you watch the show, like I'm Ed, that's Pete, that's Rich, diagonally down is Crow. There you
go. Yeah.
Watch us more and you'll remember. Yeah, you welcome this? Yeah. Yeah, I think it'll be it'll be good.
Is that your dog, Rich?
Yeah, he wants to invade.
I didn't realize he had a dog.
I think I'll finally let him in.
Yeah.
You kept looking, and I was like, I didn't think Rich had a dog.
Oh yeah. He's actually he'll be 17 years old this October.
Wow.
No, not 17. I'm sorry, 16. He'll make it
16. That's still.
Yeah, he's still. Yeah, but he's still like a puppy. This is the reason why he's sitting here, like waiting to get in.
Yeah, let him in.
Come on, you.
Well, I do think though that I know that some people have been concerned about will there be physical carts. I think there will be because Neo Geo had physical carts. It makes sense for Evercade. I have faith in Blaze that they're going to go all in with the money that they paid for this license, and do everything possible with it. I think. I could be wrong, but that's.
We'll see. I still be surprised if we see another alpha, even if it is an Neo Geo one. I just don't think that they've sold very well. So I really don't know if doing a Neo Geo one is going to, unless they do they produce way less of them than they did the other ones.
What if they did a limited edition with only 2,000 copies?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Oh, technically how many did they make of the regular alpha? For all we know, they only made 2,000.
We don't know. What I think, they're
sold out, right?
Yeah, they're all sold out.
They are sold out. Okay, I didn't
know
they were sold out.
That's as much as I look into it.
Well, I wouldn't doubt that the collector's edition or whatever it was called is sold out because of the extra stuff that was added in. But let me see.
Oh.
Yeah, the standard editions on Funstock, they're all out.
Oh,
everything's out.
Crazy.
Let's take a look.
It's pretty wild.
The Street. I'm looking at Video Games Plus. The Street Fighter one is sold out on there, but the Mega Man one. Oh, no,
I got the last one.
I'm backwards. The Mega Man one sold out on Alpha, and Street Fighter one is still available. It says 10 plus available.
They've suggested the Alpha exceeded their expectations.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I think what they do is, they see all the pre-orders, and then they have an idea of how many roughly to ship. Sure, you're going to get some people who are going to cancel, but that kind of gives them an idea, and then they, so they don't have. I don't think they lose them as much money because they're not just sitting around for stock. They keep some.
But it kind of drives me crazy a little bit because the whole point of the Alpha is, you can have the interchangeable cartridges, then you could play a lot of different games on the Alpha. So why get me to buy multiple Alphas?
Well, because it's tapping into that market that's soured on some of the other bespoke mini cabinets, right? It's like, oh, hey, you got a whole bunch of mini cabs or half cabs or whatever.
Well, that's true
for that other company, and they stopped making their stuff. How about you buy ours?
But the whole thing is that with those other ones, you couldn't just add more games with the cartridge.
Well, that's true, but
I mean that's what we get here. It's like, okay, you buy one, why would you need another one? You can just interchange the cartridge.
Especially if they sell the marquees, right? What they should make is an Evercade Basic one with any art on the side. And
that's what I would like to see.
But the only counter that I'll have to all of that is every single one of the Alphas has a different game set that's not on cartridges.
Yeah, that's true. We discussed that to death, though. But like I said, if they're going, what I want them to do is just create a basic black shell.
Yes.
And then just buy the marquees.
And
if
just
they do that,
but they gotta make the games available.
One of these and get that.
That's what I'm saying. Is why are they making games exclusive to these devices? I know why.
We've been down that road.
But they shouldn't be doing that.
We've been down that road.
I agree with you.
Years, though. I agree. We've been down that road since the Capcom collection.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Like that's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I asked Sean I asked Sean that very question, like, why did you guys go with the brand name instead of just like making it like how it looked in the trailer with the Cade? They thought that they needed the recognition to sell more units of going with the being branded.
Yeah,
that was the.
And I think they should just make a generic Alpha case because we can already swap out the marquee. So, and then people can create stickers and films to go on the side. So if they do that, I'll probably unload my Street Fighter one, even though it was a Christmas gift. I'll probably sell that one to get it.
Yeah,
and if they do a generic one, they could do it without any built-in games, right? And do it for a reduced price.
Right.
That would be. Wow! I just created a revenue stream out of nothing for them. You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, well, that also might get me to get one. If they said, hey, all those other ones were pretty awesome. We're not going to do any more of those special ones. Here's an Alpha with nothing in it for $100 less. Yeah, okay, I'd buy one.
So Ross, does anyone accept? It's already done. It's already like I'm telling you, I have a suspicion there will be like that, like of my Cockhertz logo. It's going to be red. It's going to have them like they're gonna do like. They would be kind of foolish not to at least do like a limited run of those. People will buy them. I mean, like the Duke Nukem sold out in 2 seconds. It's just kind of like, well, why? Kind of like, like why do they keep redoing like super pockets of all the game? Like, with the exception of Taito, why did they do like an Atari one? Yes, they did extra games. Why did they do it? Because people will buy them. That's the simple answer. I'm like, I'm fine with this. Like, Blaze can like reskin everything to death because like. The issue I have is when they come out with new hardware too soon and you have to buy that piece of hardware to play existing games. Then that's a problem. But all the stuff that they come out with, you don't have to buy to play games. And I'm fine with I'm fine with that. So that's kind of like why, like, to take an example, like that's why like you haven't seen a Steam Deck 2 yet because the technology isn't there. I think Blaze doesn't want to be like an Ambernick where they just like re-release a new device like every year.
Yeah, well, on the Ambernick side, they get a little crazy with that. At least they try to like change the design a little. Yeah, like they go from like this one handheld to like a top-down handheld to folding handheld, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, yeah, like Evercade Alpha is because nostalgia is a powerful thing. Yes, like dude, like that's like the reason why like I got like the mod chromatic retro for Christmas because like nostalgia because it's
Let me ask a question. If they came out with a Neo Geo Evercade Alpha, are you going to buy one?
Me? No.
Then why you care?
I am.
Well, I care for one because Rich is excited. Like, because like, look at his face, right? Like,
I'm in. Yes. Because I'm doing it for 2 reasons. And I'll tell you guys right now, again, like, and all 36 people in the chat can hold me to it, right? If they sell one that looks like a regular Neo Geo cab, right, with the red and all the logos and all that kind of stuff, I will 100% recreate that video.
Oh yes,
I will recreate the Neo Geo video with the Neo Geo mini cab. It will happen instantaneously, and then it will sit in Studio B right at the end of my the opening table, and it'll just be there forever. Because I was like, oh, I finally have a place. I could just put it there, and that's it. And I only need one, and that'll be fine.
Right. But also to answer, like, Crow, the reason I care, kind of like the same way, like when they did like the Duke Nukem, like limited edition console. Like, I didn't want that for myself, but I care about anything that will like raise awareness of this company because nobody out there is like really doing like what Blaze is doing, and if it can kind of help spread things to the retro like ecosystem.
But here's the thing: if they come out with a Neo Geo little arcade and it's got exclusive games on it, people have done that before.
No, but you're missing the point. Like if they come out with any like device that has games tied to it, that's always sad. Like that really sucks. And I think they need to move
Neo Geo Gold. That was exactly this. You had cartridges you could add in and put new games on.
Yes. And I'm hoping that's exactly what they do, but they have an Evercade and they have like better emulation.
But you just said that nobody's ever done that before.
No. You didn't listen to me correctly. Let me re-explain. There is nobody else is doing what Evercade is doing, creating a modern retro console with games on physical media like this in the format.
You mean like Polymega?
Polymega doesn't sell games, you fool.
Yes, they do. They sell
They
digital
don't sell
games on
Mega.
it, don't they? There you go, right there. You can't
is
say
that?
nobody else is doing that because Polymega's doing it.
What is that?
Those
It
are
is the first 2 Polymega collections.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm not here yet. It's somewhere in California.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that they did that. Okay.
I thought you were.
Yeah, they announced it. They announced it in the beginning of
Yeah.
December, and then actually launched 2 weeks
Yeah.
later. Which, to Polymega's credit, was pretty crazy because, you know,
How many games are on those? Just one, or are they like?
no. So Karate Champ has Karate Champ, PvP, Way of the Karate, Fighter's History, Karnav's Revenge, and Fighter's History Dynamite, which comes with also. So it's like this. So it's this all on a disc, right? Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Then-
No, and I know that. Okay, so they're one of okay.
And Ballistic
And then
Coffee,
of- and
Coffee
then of
Boy's got
course-
a point too, because I totally forgot about Atari for some
Yeah.
reason. But
So they're
Atari's
one of
doing
the
same thing.
so they're one of the few companies, and so like for the last 4 years, Blaze was the people doing them. So
Right. And this right here is a Neo Geo CD game.
yes,
They just reprinted the Neo Geo CD game. So if you have Neo Geo CD hardware, you can just take this disc and put it in a Neo Geo CD. It works.
dude, I missed that memo. That's
Yeah.
that's freaking amazing. So
Yeah, and the Asteroids collection. I mean, you could watch, Good Times with Retro Rich. I mean,
Yeah, I was waiting for mine. Mine is stuck
I
in
broke the
Montclair,
story.
California.
if only
I
there was a
thought
guy.
we talked about this on the
we
show.
did.
We did. We talked
did,
about
bro.
it a month or 2 months ago.
But yeah, the Asteroids collection has Orbit, Lunar Lander, Asteroids, everyone's favorite Evercade game, Asteroids Deluxe,
The actual
Space Duel,
asteroid.
Gravitar, and Super Asteroids Missile Command for the links. So, and it spans across arcade, 2600, 7800, and like I said, links. So it's pretty crazy.
Ooh,
So-
so they got Blaze's competition now.
A little bit. I mean, I'd still say though, this is still in the niche category.
Yeah, I think it's
It's
very.
people
more
are-
niche.
Because the other thing that hurts about all this, the big downside is these are $40.
Yeah, they're more expensive.
Do you have to play those in the Polymega, or they work like an original hardware?
Like,
Well, only the ones that are reprints of the games work in original hardware.
yeah, and there's no disk drives on the 7800.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you're
maybe
just ROM.
they'll make an adapter.
You don't make it.
Like Neo Geo, no, obviously, but I mean like the Neo Geo ones when they work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the Neo
you
Geo
just
CD
said
game.
that. It'll
Yeah,
work on
it'll
the
work in a
Neo
Neo Geo CD, and
Okay.
they've already said that many more collections to come, and more collections will be like Karate Champ instead of Asteroids, where there'll be two discs or multi discs, and then
cool.
there'll be several different reprints of games that are like hard to find. That kind of.
I'm just waiting for mine to come. I guarantee they're going to do an Intellivision collection on one of those.
Yeah.
Instead of doing
no
an
no doubt.
Intellivision
No
module, they'll do a disc. You know what I mean, Rich?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
The module's coming for
because-
Atari.
Because you know it's gonna. Yeah, exactly. The module is going to be the Intellivision Plus.
So, okay, so Carl, here's what I'll rephrase my statement just for you. There is no other company doing modern retro multi-game carts, multi-game carts, and I think I can be
Atari's doing it.
Atari is doing it.
Yeah, they're doing it on Switch. The flashback.
No,
collection's
actually
on-
on the
Multi-game
Atari 2600. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on carts.
Yeah,
They are
Atari
carts.
50 technically.
There's 3 flashbacks collections on the Nintendo Switch that are carts. I have
Those are not, by my definition, those are not carts. Those are just, like a cart, like they don't look like Nintendo carts. They don't feel like old school.
What you're saying is they're not bespoke for retro.
Yeah, but Evercade's not either. Evercade's their own cart design too. So
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
what I mean. And I said multi-game because yes, with like Atari and Chromatic, they have like only one
what
game
is
per.
chromatic?
That's the Mod Retro Game Boy. That's like
Okay.
what I got for Christmas.
So
It's
how's that different than the Analog Pocket, or is it?
You should watch maybe. It's different because it plays Game Boy and Game Boy Color like perfectly, and more importantly, it feels like a Game Boy.
Oh, it's the design, like the actual physical design.
Yeah.
That too. But they made like a special screen. And everything
Okay.
else.
I absolutely despise the original Game Boy.
Here
Like,
are
a
your
feel of it,
multi-game carts.
Yeah.
10
on there?
games in one. This
I didn't know
has
that existed.
Adventure,
Yeah, they came with the
Combat,
Atari.
Dodge 'em,
Oh yeah,
Haunted
yeah,
House,
they
Base-
do. They're on the original hardware.
Yeah, this is a cartridge, right? You would agree that this is the cartridge.
What
It's
is
got
same
10 games
design?
on it.
Oh, with the dip
And-
switches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have to buy the console to get that, though.
That's the same thing with Evercade. You can't just buy a cartridge and not the Evercade and be able to
No,
play
no,
it.
but you have to buy the 20% of the console. They
I
sell
don't
the-
like how this conversation's devolved.
Okay, I'll have to
We
work
should
that.
move on.
No.
We literally should just move on because no
No,
one,
I'm doing
no
this
one's
on
going to be
purpose.
right with this because
Will likes to be contrary. It likes to be pedantic. So I know if I keep changing it, it'll drive him nuts. So yeah, I was doing that. I was like doing that.
You keep changing your. Blaze is the only one making multiple games on a cart for the Evercade.
for the
That's
Evercade.
what
Exactly.
for the Evercade.
Exactly. Yeah. No, because I only do it because you pointlessly nitpick at stuff just to be a contrarian.
9 o'clock.
I'm
yeah.
telling you,
I'm way long.
I have to because you can't put out a blanket statement like that, and it's
This is
expected to be
YouTube. You
true.
can do whatever you want.
It's all good.
Come on, bro.
but to go back to them, but I think that there's not that many companies doing a Blaze like what Blaze is doing. I think
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think, to be honest with you, we should have a rule. We should stop discussing all this crap on the Evercade show because you know what? We've discussed it a million times, come at it different ways. It's just getting annoying, to be honest with you. Like, we keep discussing the same thing. Like, should they be doing games on a console or that can't come on cart? We all agree they shouldn't do that, but we're supporting them anyway.
Right.
So we should just move on. I really want us to get back just talking about games and cool shit coming out. That's really basically all I want. I'm tired of talking about it. I literally am.
What are the predictions for the February card then? Kind of moving on to that.
Oh, can we talk about the Atari Gamestation though, quickly?
You do
We can
want to talk
some
about
fun
Atari
movies that we
Gamestation.
don't bust in your- Yeah, of course.
Do you have a video or an image of it, Ed? Are you prepared?
Do I have an image?
Just lie and say,
Yeah.
yes, I'm pulling it up now.
No.
I just want to talk about it because we
I
have
can get
so
it.
many Atari fans that come to this show.
Yeah.
Ballistic Coffee Boy, especially. Like, I'm a huge Atari fan. Like,
Sure.
they were supposed to release the GameStation last year, the portable, and they obviously didn't. And they did a tease for it for the. I'm just buying time while Ed pulls up the teaser video or Rich does. But they did a tease for it, and it's handheld, so I'm super stoked for it. But I must say that the teaser video showed exactly what I've wanted Evercade to do forever with a handheld. They've got a D-pad on the handheld. They've got a spinner on the handheld. They got a trackpad on the handheld. They got 4 Xbox buttons on the right side and a full number pad. And the
Yeah, and
screen looks
number
about the
pad is
size of
overkill.
a OLED, Switch OLED. It looks fantastic.
I think it
Cooking
might
with
be
my
bigger.
family and staying.
Sorry
Oh,
about that.
somebody's audio's coming through. But it
That
looks
was me.
really, really cool. Again, is it going to be a big competitor to FK? I don't think so because it takes
No,
SD
it's-
cards.
No.
It's just another handheld. But
It's just another handle, but I'm going to buy it because I'm super stoked. If it's available in Canada, I'm going to get it.
Here's the thing:
I
is
just
they
thought it was
announced
really cool. I think the discussion point I wanted to chat about is the fact that they included all the very control mechanisms we want on the Evercade in one way or another.
Yes, that's
Yeah, there
why
we go.
I would consider. I don't know what the price is going to be. The price point.
I'd say it's about
It's got a-
140. I'd say no more than 149 Canadian. I would think.
But the fact that it's got a spinner on it is, I'd
Bring
rather
up the
play the
video.
Atari
No,
games
I
on
just-
this.
I just
But
found it hilarious.
remember, there's. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Ed.
No, I just found it hilarious that you said you wanted to get back to talking about the games, and then we brought this up.
No, I just want to because this is a direct. This has a direct
Well, it's related.
impact to Evercade. Like,
Yeah.
so I think the control scheme.
Oh, do you have the video?
Yeah, it's down here.
Okay, cool. You beat me to it.
It's tangentially related.
So anyway, I just thought, like,
It'll
I
play.
think this is an area Evercade should look into just for the controls, like having those available on a handle. So if they ever do, why this is Evercade related? If they ever do the EXP2, I hope they do this with it. Imagine this with a cartridge slot for Evercade games. Like, how cool would that be?
Well, I see. I don't know if they'd actually put out.
No.
That'd be interesting to come out with a spinner on a handheld like that, especially when most of the games wouldn't use it. But I just offer support for it for the VS.
Thank you.
No, I'm just
That's
talking from
what
the
I was gonna
handheld perspective.
That's what I was gonna say.
All right. So hold on a second.
Yeah.
Because
Anyway, I thought it was
the
cool.
reason I say that because like the trackball and stuff might be like too tiny.
It looks pretty big though when they show the person's hand beside it. It looks like relatively.
I think
decent
it's
size.
bigger than the Switch. Because
Yeah,
they
the
were
Switch.
showing this
Yeah, it's pretty
last
big.
year too. Last year at January CES, they were showing this. I'm surprised it's not even out yet, but because I've been looking at this for like over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Anyway,
got this
really
the super retro champ. They're trying to put that back out. They,
Oh, really?
Yeah, they announced that back in 2020, and then it
No.
never came out.
My
They're-
arcade was
Oh, yeah,
the
I
one
can
that
remember
came out
that,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're
When-
showing
my-
that.
was-
They're showing that again.
Wasn't my arcade the one that put out that portable NES device where you could plug in the actual NES cartridges? And it seems like this is the same size as that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, it's got a micro SD slot.
Yeah, you probably load your own games on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
ROMs. I mean, you only need like a 8 gig.
It's just
You
like
probably
the
need
whole
a-
library.
You probably use a half a gig, probably 256 meg. You could probably use.
So it kind of depends, like for your customer, right? Like it's kind of like if you are just kind of wanting, a trackball to use your thumb on. I mean that's fun. But like I would rather have like a full like trackball.
But this is a handheld device.
Yeah.
You can't expect most of it to be.
Well, that's what
trackball.
Yeah, it's just,
that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, well, it's cool. I think it's like more of a novel. I think it's more of a novelty. I don't think it'll play as well as if you had like, like the full size controller.
Obviously, it's not going to play as well as if you're playing
Yeah.
the game at an
Right.
actual arcade machine. But this
I'm
is
not
a
even
portable
talking about
option.
that.
but the fact that there is an attempt
Yeah,
to
there's
try to
like
make a
4
controller
control
that
screens.
has a D-pad, a spinner, and a roller is pretty cool.
The automatic negativity is unbelievable. It's
No,
just,
no,
I think it's really cool that they've got 4 different 5 different ways to play your games on a handheld. I think it's pretty cool. Whether they execute on it or not, I'll let you know in 6 months when I get it.
I'm
that's-
very surprised they went as far as putting a numpad on it.
Me too.
Well,
Like that tells me in
that's
television
pretty
games, and that tells me in television games going to be on there.
That's
maybe the
true.
5200 games.
They actually started this before Atari acquired Intellivision, so that wasn't even like part of the plan.
Well,
I
it's
think.
because of the 5200, right? And there's
Oh yeah, the 5200.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking of that for some reason.
that's what
I
I've
was
got
thinking.
replay.
I was thinking of the keypad games on the
You
Atari
guys aren't really
2600.
retro gamers, are you?
The reason why I say like the spinner and stuff is too small, even on like the existing My Arcade Station, they're too small. Like if you've seen Gen X growing up, there's a guy who made adapters for the spinner to make them more like paddles. That's why I say it's a novelty for those who want it, but like I don't think it's going to be as good of an experience because they're trying to cram too much into it.
It was somebody else that sent them that he does 3D printing and he
Yes,
designed and 3D printed adapters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a D-pad is the same size regardless, right? It'd be kind of like if they tried to put like a joystick on there, which isn't the same thing as an analog stick. That's all I'm saying. Is that you'd be better off having like actual like controllers where I don't know, we'd have more room. This would be like fun for a kid, I think.
I don't know why this is a problem, but the Evercade playing other games isn't.
Not a problem.
All right, cool.
Or
Like you're saying, like the controls are all wrong because it's not as good as playing the games however they were for the systems and consoles and arcades they were designed for. But wouldn't that be true of anything you're playing on the Evercade handheld as well?
No, I mean, like I'm saying, like the trackball that you use your thumb. Normally, a trackball you use like your whole hand. That's what that looks too tiny. And like the spinner,
It'll
like,
work. You know why I know it'll work is because
Yes.
long time ago I used a mouse that had a trackball thumb thing to control the mouse. That worked perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So that's
No,
gonna
I
work
said
perfectly
100%.
fine.
It'll work. It's just I don't think it's going to be as good of an experience. That's all.
It'll be better than trying to use a D-pad, right?
For a track. Well, and that's but see, then my whole thing is I'd rather just not play those kind of games on a device unless I can get the experience.
So your solution is this is no good because you'd rather just not play the games at all.
Well, like it's kind of like I keep saying, like controls are king, right? Like when Blaze releases like Operation Wolf on a Super Pocket, that never should have been on there.
Your solution is they shouldn't be a trackball on it because
Dude,
nobody's going to play those games.
I never said nobody. I'm just saying for me, and I like when it comes to dude, I'm an arcade snob when it comes to the experience. That's one of the reasons, like the Alpha, Arcade 1-Ups, and all those devices, like they're too cheaply made, and I had issues with. I've not yet found a home arcade experience that can capture what I consider to be in the arcade, unless you're going to spend thousands of dollars.
You're never going to find that. It's gone. It's gone. You're never going to find that arcade experience again, where you're going to go into an arcade and there's going to be people in there willing to pump quarters into machines. It's not going to happen again.
Because I heard wise people in this chat.
You've got that, yes, Rich, but that's not you. I could say that's not the arcade experience. You can't put quarters in it.
I mean, you can hit the button. You push the button.
You could pretend, but again, that's pretending. That's not the arcade. You're playing it.
Well,
you could say as close as you can get to today. Some could always make the argument it's not the same.
Right? No, yeah.
That's my point.
I'm just saying, like, I have a certain level of quality for certain things that I want. Like arcade machines were made for, like, they're durable for a reason. And
so
and
let me ask you, on the arcade collections for the Evercade, do you play those with an arcade stick?
No, I use it.
Then you're not getting the arcade experience.
Correct, but I'm still having fun with it.
Yeah, the important thing is to have fun. That's all you need to worry about.
Yes, and so there is a market for it. If Pete gets the device and has fun with it, that's fine. I'm just saying I don't like. That's just like not a device for me. Or that doesn't excite me for that. For that reason. We still don't have actual like support for the controller. Hell, we don't have keyboard and mouse support yet on the VS.
I know that, and I'm waiting for that.
So it would be a big leap for them to do that. I think that, like, for that type of device, like, yes, definitely, like, if you're wanting that experience, buy that device. But I don't see that coming to Evercade. I could be totally wrong.
My point is, like, whenever somebody says, "Oh, I want it to be exactly like it was when I played it back in the day," it's not going to happen. It's just
no, but that's not what I'm saying. Though. That's what I'm saying
good.
Is you're twisting my words. Like I said, I have a certain level of quality. Like I'm.
Yeah, and I don't know what that quality is. It seems to waver.
Exactly. And it's more the experience, right? It's kind of what I'm looking. It's kind of what I'm looking for. It's not just like putting in quarters and all that. Arcade 1-Up. Yeah, and authentic. Yeah, it depends what you're looking for. Yes, but authentic arcade cabinets have issues too, right?
Well, even if you buy an authentic arcade cabinet and you've got it in your home, and even if you set it up where you have to put a quarter in to play it, still not the same. Because again, you're not going out to the mall or something to play it.
Well, no, see, nothing will ever recapture that experience. It's more
exactly. It's the thing. It's like those experiences are gone. They're never happening again.
And then you could argue, well, then why own anything arcade when you should just go out to your support and go out to like your local.
My argument is that don't even bother if that's what you're going after though. If you don't care and you just want to play the game and that's how you want to play it, that's fine.
Yes.
I'm just saying that if you're doing it because you want to recreate something something that happened 20, 30 years ago, it's not going to happen.
I hate to break it to you, Crow, but most of us who are playing retro games are trying to recreate that experience and nostalgia. Except for, I think you're in a different category, but most of us want to experience that.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I think
at least not exactly the way it did in the past.
No, I think that's why we have those debates because I think there's a disconnect that you forget. Like it's nostalgia is kind of like the big. If we all just wanted to play games, we'd load up ROMs on our computers and we wouldn't be passionate about any of this. But yeah, I do. But if they do come out with the VS2 and they do have those controllers, and they probably should they have a portable to complement it? I think that's kind of more the question. Or should they, or should they not? Bunch of grumpy old men.
It's all good.
No. Remember, it's the rule. It's the rule of the internet, right? You put something out there for public opinion, and everyone can offer their own opinion on it. That's kind of what it. That's kind of what it comes down to.
All right, what's the next topic?
Well, someone asked what for February, what we think.
Well, yeah, there's gonna be when they get. Do we already know February? Right, it's in the Heroes 4.
Yeah, it's in the Heroes 4.
I think it's banger cart. I think I'm gonna really enjoy that cart. Usually, the in the year 4, it's the carts we got, the games we got this year, plus some new unannounced ones, right?
Yeah,
we usually do that. Yeah,
they haven't given out the list yet, and the reason why I think they haven't given out, I don't think we can pre-order it either, right?
No.
Wait, how do we know there's cartridges
coming out in February? So I would say,
well, the Indie Heroes 4's got to come out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indie Heroes 4 it's going to be out in February. There's no
So
way.
we haven't
Was
pre-ordered
it
it
announced? I don't remember.
Yeah, when they originally announced Indie Heroes 4,
I don't even remember it being announced.
collection for.
I think we're just basing it off of history. Like in the past, it's been February.
But the thing is, like, if it's coming out next month, you would think that you'd be able to pre-order it by now.
That's what I mean, right? Like that's kind of what we're saying. It's like there's been no pre-order for it
So
yet.
I don't think it's coming out in February.
Well, they didn't say February in their post 2 days ago. So, all right.
What did they say 2 days ago?
Indie
Do we have
Heroes
that
4 will be along early this year, bringing with it a collection of all last year's Game of the Month titles, plus some cart exclusive extras. What were your highlights for the Game of the Month? And I said I liked Jane Austen's and Murtop. And then other people were like, don't forget about Flea 2. And I was like, oh, I did forget about Flea 2. So I felt bad.
I forgot about Fleet 2, and I'm okay with that.
Right.
But yeah, so they didn't say February. I mean, I'm saying though,
Well,
they can't just be
it's not gonna be
dark
like March,
for
would
2
it?
solid months.
Yeah.
And
They
not do
can
any.
do whatever they want.
They can, but come on, like we should because they're gonna have the announcement about. Oh wait, didn't they say they were gonna do the SNK thing? No, they did. That was later on in the year too.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's say Q1, I think. By the end of Q1.
Yeah, they can't drag it out. They can't
No.
drag it out that much. I'd say by the end of this month, by the weekend. Oh, wait, let me see. You know what? Let me go back in time. Let me go back in
Jesus.
time.
See, that's a harsh opinion. Wow, he doesn't like, Freak doesn't like Indie Heroes 4.
Wow,
Yeah, dude.
that's rough, man.
Oh, I know. I was
I
like,
mean, you know, hey,
Well,
Good
that's the
opinion.
case with like all Hindi Heroes collection is there's clear
cool.
winners and clear losers.
yeah. But I think the
Right.
strength of that though is because you get a collection of all those games. Like some of them on their own wouldn't be worth it to buy, but some of them are really like. There's that one like really good quality game. I'm trying to remember. Like you could pick between 3 characters, and it felt kind of Halloweenish, and it sells for like $15 by itself on Steam. God damn it, I can't remember the name.
Oh yeah, I remember. I don't remember the name of the game either, but yeah,
Is this a game that's coming out or a
I
game that
missed
is already out?
it.
Yeah. That's what the game-
All right, so let me go back in time, right?
Sit in
To
the restaurant store.
around.
Murtop.
So the firmware, the big firmware update was January 23rd last year. Did Blaze announce anything in the beginning of the year? No. So it went almost all of January with no news.
Yeah. Well, you know how it is. I kind of feel like that. It feels like the company takes a month off. I don't know. They seem to take off longer than most normal companies, like at the beginning of the new year. Like they need a break.
I mean, they could be working. It's just that they're not announcing anything. They're not
Maybe
they're public faces. Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah. So the next time that I taught last year, the next time I after January, the next time I did a video about new carts was February 26th, talking about Pico 4 and Sunsoft. So, I mean, it could be all the way until February.
Yeah. Okay, good. You like Murtop. Okay.
But 2 days later, I did the box opening for Indie Heroes 3 and C64 on the 28th. So we got to be able to pre-order them soon.
Yeah.
So they did come out in February. They came out at the end of February.
yeah, but you're just
Evercast.
assuming that they're going to come out February this year too, and that's not.
They always
there's-
do good. They
If
always
it's
do
one
good.
thing they're consistent at, it's being inconsistent.
That's
so.
true. All right.
Right.
You have a point there. But I'm saying though, I think we're gonna get we'll wind up getting Indie Heroes because I always consider Indie Heroes the last cartridge of the year
True. True.
because they didn't put it on the timeline, or they did. They put it on the timeline and then they moved it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No,
Indie Heroes like because you go through all the preview all the games during the year and then you get the card at the end. That's the end. Of the
Yeah.
year.
So all the licensing is done, and actually, Sean even said like all the licensing is done for 2025 and some maybe 2026. So
Yeah,
we know everything is planned out probably.
but a cart came alongside Indie Heroes 3, and
They always sell them in twos.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
not
mean, I
always.
think they sell them in twos because the one time they didn't do that, people yelled at them over here in the States because people like me that order on Fun Stock can't get just one cart. You
exactly.
have to get a cart
People
and
over
something
here
else
should
in
be
order to get
ordering on
shipping.
video. They should be ordering on Video Games Plus anyway. We don't need that PEGI logo.
100%. You live around North America, like the North
There's
American.
my 50 PEGI logos right here.
It's so un-American.
No, I'm just saying it from that, like they're currency wise, they're cheaper. You don't have to pay sales tax, and you get free shipping. Like, they have
Oh.
awesome customer service.
See,
Like,
that's a something that I guess there's no logo.
Ooh,
No logo on the Polymega collections at all. Zero. No ESRB or PEGI.
And that was the thing too with the
Yes.
Atari, when Atari was releasing those XP games, and I just got 2 of them, and
Mm-hmm.
I looked them up on accident, and I realized people were selling. I didn't realize they were limited to 500 when I bought them. So people are selling, and those don't have ESRB logos on it. But everything that Atari's released recently,
Yeah.
like those 7 games, the one the bunch for the 7800 and the one for the Atari, the Caverns of Mars,
Yeah.
all have ESRB logos on them, and it's so weird to see that on a 7800 and 2600 game box.
he does. You get a shirt that says PEGI 18.
Well, what's the highest rating on the PEGI scale?
I think it's PEGI 18, right?
Yeah.
Nothing
Nice.
higher.
PEGI XXX. No, I don't know. Oh my goodness.
It's 18. Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah.
My mom tells me not to trust YouTube streamers, especially gamers, but my mom ain't always right. Oh, I had to read that. A bad country
Oh, wait.
accent.
PEGI 18. Oh, that's just
What's arcade?
parental guidance recommended. There's PEGI exclamation point. That's awesome.
I think that might be made up.
No, it's on the PEGI info website.
What are the ratings?
Like straight up, there's one that's an exclamation point.
Ooh.
It's the best. I want that on a shirt.
How come I don't see it on their website? I only see 3, 7, 12, 18, 16, and 18.
Yeah,
Why bother having
PEGI.info.
16 and 18? Those are so close
Yeah.
together.
PEGI.info. What do the labels mean?
Oh, what do the labels mean? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, it is. They do have a PEGI explanation point.
PEGI exclamation point.
This might be just unrated.
Ooh.
It doesn't say anything about it being X-rated or anything.
Yeah,
Sweet, my Tuplin 4 just got delivered. Woohoo!
nice.
Well, and the thing is, like, if it's unrated, why bother putting the PEGI logo on there anyway? Unless it's like currently in process and it's like a temporary logo, like how ESRB has like an RP rating.
Yeah. Maybe they just use the exclamation point
Yeah.
for it. Might have some crazy stuff.
That would have been like the first Jailco collection with glass. If they had the uncensored ROM, that would have been probably rated with exclamation point.
Oh, come on.
I don't think Blaze wants to release.
Think about it. It would just be some nudity. You'd think that'd just be 18 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a movie, it would be.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Have we had a PEGI 18 game
No.
I think so. I want to say
We
yes.
on the Evercade?
Splatterhouse, maybe. Namco.
Let's see.
Not in reach.
Namco
PEGI
Museum.
16.
Oh, 16. Okay.
Yeah. It's close.
Then maybe not. I thought that was the one for sure. But I don't think whatever a game would be rated would stop them from putting it out.
No.
No, I don't think so either.
I think Blaze wants to keep a certain image, like they want everything to be family friendly to reach it.
Well, I mean, but also in retro, like how many games in the retro space would have gotten a PEGI 18? Not
That's
many.
a good. That's a great question. Like if they were to do a Mortal Kombat collection,
maybe?
would that, by today's standards, though? Do you think, Rich, would that be 18 or would that?
I mean,
Well,
well, that's the other thing
yes,
too. Yeah.
it would be probably for decapitation and stuff.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah. Perky little things on the Switch is PEGI 18. Perky little things. That's the game that I think you're talking about.
Wait a minute. Wait, that can't be right. Oh. I saw somebody was on eBay was selling Worms Collection 1, and they put 18 PEGI. And I was like, that wasn't rated 18 PEGI. And so I don't know. PEGI rated cover. I don't know what they mean by 18 in the description then, because that's 7.
In Worms?
Yes, it's rated 7, but I saw the description as Evercade Worms Collection 1 Arcade 18 PEGI rated cover. But it's not 18, it's 7. I don't know what they mean by 18 in the description.
That's weird. That's very weird.
Night Trap, yes, but it was a different time. It was kind of like overblown for what it.
I think nowadays that would be, well, in the US that would probably be like PG-13.
Yeah,
It'd be a T for teen game. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Bill, I don't think any of us are going to be alive in 2924. Holy crap!
What do you want? Best games 20. I think he means 2024. I think that's a typo.
Yeah, but it's not
know.
2024 anymore.
I haven't played most of the games that were released in 2024.
Actually, well, I mean, if we go broad, my best game of 2024 was probably Astrobot.
Let's see. Based on you're talking about in general, not
just in general, like all games.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Well, mine for the Evercade was Knights of the Round.
I was gonna say, does it have to be released in 2024, or is it just the game you play? Like,
I mean, I'm assuming he's asking Evercade, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, Evercade.
Knights of the Round for me because that came on the Mega Man Alpha, and that's the reason I bought the Mega Man Alpha.
Yeah, I didn't get to a lot of deep into collections.
No.
But if we're thinking general, it's the Indiana Jones game that came out. It's my game of the year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The Great Circle.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. It's like 4 indie movies in one. But for Evercade, it's Knights of the Round. That's the one I can think of right away. Probably because I finished it like almost my third finish of it. Going through it was just so much fun.
That's very cool. I guess for me it would be what game did I spend the most time with instead of the best, because I didn't play all of the games that released on Evercade in 2024.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So, game I spent the most time with. I mean, oddly enough, just because I thought it was hilarious, it's probably Jane Austen.
Really? Cool.
Yeah. I put like 5 hours into that game. And I never play like the indie stuff and all those indie hero games. I never put more than like maybe an hour or two in, if I'm really into one. But I played it on VS, on the EXP. I was playing it on vacation. I purposely didn't put one of my EXPs on the next firmware just to keep playing it. So like, I mean, that's got to win. Just a lock because I wanted to play.
But does that count? Because it's not going to be released in 2025.
I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it's a cheat. Maybe it's a cheat. I didn't beat it yet. I got like 4 or 5 stages in or something like that. And it was like, it's funny because you just keep getting all these different powers and stuff. It's crazy.
Let me just highlight this real quick. So Den Nastic, who's been a longtime friend of like all of our channels, he renewed his he's been a member for 14. Renewed his membership 14 months. Here's Evercade going back to physical. Right. Thanks, dude. Appreciate the support. Everyone who supports
good stuff.
All of this. But I was going to say, so that is a tough question, and I can't pick a specific game, and that's because like last year we had like the Duke Nukems. Like we had like for me, we had like clear winners that were single and dual game carts. For this year, it might have to be like Topolin 3 and 4. It might actually have been like my favorite 2 cards.
I was looking. I didn't realize how bad I was. I've only played 3 cartridges from 2024.
Oh wow,
that makes sense.
Yeah. Although it's I might. So here's the thing. I almost might even have to pick Tomb Raider. No.
I was gonna say you played a lot of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, actually, no. I know there is a clear winner. And maybe maybe Euphoria. Okay, I had a lot of fun with Gene and like Immortal like guiding me through Tomb Raider. Like I had like on my own, but like that experience with those guys guiding me. I might have to be Tomb Raider and then Euphoria, since I had hope with that too. That might actually have to have been like Euphoria on Sunsoft too, because I actually completed that, and that was a great experience. God, that was so early in the year. I forgot.
Yeah.
That ending sucked.
I liked it. It was fine. It wasn't as bad as you made it out. It was fun. It might have to be Euphoria for me, just because I totally forgot. See, that's kind of the problem. Like this year, it's kind of been up and down, right? Like there's been like delays and like space. But yeah, maybe between those two. Yeah, as far as like in general, that's like, I don't know if a game that came out. I know like Brotato, I played like a ton of that. And that was for free from the Epic Game Store. But the Survivor games. But anyways, Murtop. But yeah, I think whoever said the most consistent thing about Evercade is being inconsistent. I hope we can get like more of like a flow. And I want like a flow of like bangers, right? And I don't want delay.
If they're gonna be consistent, we'll get like 1 or 2 cartridges the first half of the year, and then like 10 cartridges in September through December.
Here's the deal. So here's the deal with the devil that I would be willing to make, because I know there's a lot of people who love the blue carts, but they feel kind of the same way about them that I do Atari. So how about if we give up no Atari and then we don't have any blue carts and we can have that be a wash? That would make Rich sad. But I'm just like in general, like the computer collections. I don't know, I'm just tired of them. What does this symbol mean? Oops. Thanks for the $2 super chat. What symbol? StreamYard doesn't show it. StreamYard doesn't show it. Damn it. Oops. Oh my god. Life on Mars. Well, so here's the thing, right? And this is a me issue. I haven't been into Metroidvanias. I really haven't, because like I like Metroidvanias. I like RPGs, but they require like a lot of time, and I wish they held my interest more.
Well, wait a minute. Isn't that a good?
But that's a solid game
that
though.
lasts a while.
Well,
Isn't
usually
a game lasting a while a good thing.
No. When I was, no, for me,
people used to be mad when a game didn't last at least 100 hours.
Yes, no, I agree with you. When we were kids and we had like all the free time in the world, but like I want to beat a game within like games like that within 5 to 10 hours. That's kind of.
I'd be disappointed, because like it would feel like a waste of money.
No, not at all. Like the Dukes. Like I think, what was it like?
If you spent money on a game and it only lasted 10 hours and you were done with it and you weren't going to go back to it again, what's the point?
That dude, the experience. Like, I mean,
but it's games I played that only last that long. I don't remember them.
I was like Life on Mats. But yeah, like Full Void was like a few hour experience, and I was happy with what I played. I may go back and play it one more time.
Yeah, that was one of the disappointing things about that game. It was very short.
Length isn't everything; it's how you use it. Sorry, I had to get there. But I mean, like your average arcade game takes you like 30 minutes to an hour to beat. Like
arcade games are a little bit different, because really it's the gameplay that keeps you coming back, and usually you're going for a better score. You're trying to improve yourself. It's like that's why people go back to pinball.
That's older. That's older arcades. The newer arcades, the '90s arcade was meant to let's get as many coins in there as possible to see the content. Whereas in the '80s, it was you see all the content, but you wanted a high score. In the '90s, and now it just shifted to a money grab, right?
That is true. You had an ending and stuff, but they still couldn't get.
I was at arcade this week, and we were playing the new Jurassic Park game. And it's like it was fantastic, but it was like obviously timed 90 minutes, and then it just ramped the difficulty up, and then pay another 4 credits to continue, right? Like it's like I wish somebody would come and be a publisher and take all those games and bring them home as a compilation, because I'd like to play those games without having to spend a fortune.
And that's a little bit.
Is that the Raw Thrills one, like the light gun game?
One where you sit in with the gun.
Yeah. Oh, that game's awesome.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, they're looking to get their money. The people that made the game, they're looking to sell those units to arcade operators.
Yeah, because they're
And as-
probably like 30, 40 grand for one of those machines.
Yeah, they're very expensive. They're not meant to be games the same people are gonna want to keep going back to again and again and again. It's just to provide a thrill for just somebody's like, oh, what's that? Let me play.
Because it's a big giant monstrosity.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like they had the Halo one there.
Yeah, Fireteam Raven. Yeah, that game's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, I've got to take off. Just to let you guys know because I've got errands to do. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, it's 9:50.
Cool.
Yeah,
Glad everyone's back together here.
We're hanging, man.
Yeah,
good to be kicking off a new year. Also, crazy stuff's going to be happening.
I guarantee next week they're going to put a pre-order up for Indie Heroes 4.
Okay,
and it's going to be single. It's just going to be a pre-order for one.
Oh wow! Ooh. Then I'm going to be upset because I'm going to have to buy something.
And then their first showcase, they're going to announce the SNK, the first fun stuff with the SNK, and an EXP2 XL.
Ooh, I love it.
Wow.
Branded. What's SNK? Yeah, it's coming.
Bold. That's some bold stuff.
Oh, that's so cool.
We'll see what happens.
If I keep saying it, eventually happen. It did with the Alpha. So if I keep saying this, eventually
it's very true.
Years from now. But anyway, I got to go. Bye, everyone.
All right, see you, Pete.
Right, see ya.
Oh,
story games can be great in a harder way. Yes. No, it's like that's why that's one of the reasons I love roguelikes. Kind of for that reason is they kind of cut you off before it gets too long, but like it's enough to go back again. But yeah, I think it's gonna depends. But yeah, like I love like back in the day, the Final Fantasy is taking like 50 hours and stuff to beat. But now it'd be like that's like too much. That and I don't have like I don't have the interest level that I used to. So for me to kind of like to commit that much time and be in, I wish, but yeah. But then again, something like Slay the Spire, I've had that game over like 600 hours. So it just depends, right? Like I like the games that are like to like Joe's point, I like the games that are repeatable like that. Like maybe you could beat the game in one session, like 30 minutes or an hour, but there's so many challenges or difficulties, it gives you a reason to go back and to do runs and all that cool stuff.
And that's a different thing too. Yeah, you could go through and beat the game, but if you go back and play it again, you get a different experience. Or at least slightly different, or you might come back more powerful or something. So yeah, as long as the game keeps you coming back to it and playing it again and again, and you're getting multiple hours out of it. Yeah, that's probably like rather than just play a game and you're done with it in 30 minutes and you don't want to go back to it again.
Is that true? My Life Matter? Evercade is gonna have a huge presence in Vegas, or you like when, where, what con?
Oh, for CES. That's next week.
Oh, CES.
The winter CES.
So
yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that was the hidden secret.
Okay.
That was the hidden secret that that Pete didn't mention. That's why he was like, I was like, why is he predicting next week? I'm like, CES starts on Tuesday, ends on Friday. So
that
could be something there.
Past? Is this the first time they're there, or have they been there in the past and I just don't remember?
I don't think they've ever been to the States, to be honest.
Huh, okay.
They're definitely gonna have they're gonna have the Neo Pocket Super Pocket. I just think like the naming alone, that's like excellent advertising. I think they're gonna have that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you gotta have some Super Pockets, right?
Yeah.
Again, Super Pockets.
Games.
Yeah,
it's just as annoyed with it, but like it's the same thing. It's like, why do I want multiple Super Pockets? The point is to have a cartridge, so you only need one Super Pocket.
For collectibles, dude, it's like the same, like why the Atari 50 the Atari wood grain Super Pocket, is people will buy them. Like I'm fine, like I'm fine with that. Like
again, why do I need multiples of them?
You don't.
You got a cartridge. If you got a cartridge port, the point is you only need one, and then you could change out the games.
Well, that's why I have the one Super Pocket. Yeah, unless they put like exclusive games on. No, the only thing that would be like disastrous, I don't think this will happen, if they came out with like a VSR, an EXP2, and they haven't had enough time tested, and they're going to go through a bunch of growing pains and bugs until you know what I mean? Like Blaze isn't the company that can afford to do that, right? Like someone like Valve was kind of able to do that, with the Steam Deck and all that. And I think Blaze knows they can't do that. I'm like actually one thing actually I was going to ask you about, Richard, the EXPR because a few people I've seen report that on Reddit. Does the screen have light bleed or does yours?
On the EXPR?
Yeah, or does yours have
I
light bleed?
didn't see any. I noticed that some people were talking about like light bleed.
Yeah.
I noticed it on my white EXP original. But yeah, the XPR, no, not really.
Okay. I was thinking that because like on my special edition, because the shell is black and that's like a dark gray. Yeah, I didn't see any light bleed either, so maybe that's collectors want. Exactly, and I think that's how Blaze should be really making their money for selling hardware, is to do that. Because I would hope something like.
So collectors want it, but again, put those games on cartridges for the people that just want to have one.
Yeah. But I'm saying they can do both, right? Like do both. Put the same games.
But they haven't done both. They're not doing both. They're putting games exclusive on Super Pockets that you can't get on cartridge.
The closest thing was Technos, but they added like a few. They took off some games and they added some other games.
Well, even the Atari one. The Atari one has games on it that weren't in any other collections.
Yeah. People who complain about a 99 handheld are funny. But yeah, no, but I think it's either way. Like I think Atari fit. Like Atari, I was fine with that because while we don't have all the games, we have both of those carts. We had to before they went legacy. So so I think I'm fine with that from a business standpoint. But no, from a business and that's why. Like, dude, I was fully I only got a Super Pocket because I have a YouTube channel and I figured I should get my hands on. Otherwise, I had like no interest in really owning one. It's like I consider it as like my disposable portable handheld. If I go somewhere, like not that I want something to happen to it, but if I went somewhere and it got lost or damaged, I wouldn't be as sad if it was like my EXP or my Steam Deck or something else. Or I feel like my Steam Deck is of quality in its case that I could bring somewhere. Like my retro chromatic, I want to, but I got to get the right case for it. It's not a Steam Deck. So yeah, it'll be, and I think what I'm hoping with the lessons learned, like I think like looking back, I'm hoping Blaze, as much as I do like the XPR, it was like a little bit rushed. Like they needed probably a little more time to do like R&D, because by the time we got the special edition ones, like they were good, right? But I think if they are like right now, they might be working on like the next model Evercade, and I hope that wouldn't be out for a few years. I'd give enough time to bake in, test backwards compatibility, maybe redesign their whole cartridge structure, maybe to use like a Linux file system and some of those like read-only things that like talk about.
Well, those cards, some of those carts are actually on Linux file systems.
Yeah. Which I thought that was like that for the beginning, but only the native games are. So I thought that was really interesting.
And now some of the one of the computer collections I think is on a Linux only for some reason. I don't know. Yeah,
it's much more stable file system than like FAT16 or FAT32.
I don't know if that has anything to. I don't know if stability, quote unquote, is the reason. I mean, the same thing can happen in my eyes. If you can write to it, you can corrupt it.
Yes, but in Linux, it's a hell of a lot less likely. That's all I'm saying. Like for those like fellow like nerds out there, like we laugh like at Linux file system corruption. Like I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but it's like extremely rare compared.
Hey, your Cathedral cartridge is on a Linux based.
Yeah, true.
Well, there you
go. That was disappointing. Yeah, because it went to write at the same time.
And you can't say it's more stable when right there you've got a prime example of a cartridge corrupting.
But in the defense, that was only the file save. Like it didn't break the cart. Well, that did really like super suck. It didn't break my cart. So I guess that's. But yeah, I lost the file save. But that though, I don't necessarily attribute that. I think that was more to the structure of the way that it was set up, with me having to force power off the VS and then writing a save.
That's what I'm saying. It probably has something to do with that. The cause of cartridges getting corrupt has nothing to do with the file system being used.
I don't know. That would be great. It could be more the design. Obvious man is obvious. Yes, no, that's true with any nostalgic thing, dude. Did the four of you have battle the beards and why Pete had to bow on the show early? Dude, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Dude, you still haven't where are you ordering your Are you getting it from Video Games Plus? Because if you're getting it from like Amazon, cancel your order and reorder it from Video Games Plus.
Yeah, I stopped getting it from Amazon because
Amazon apparently is the worst. So
they used to be the best, and then all of a sudden one day it's like you started getting stuff weeks and weeks late.
Yeah. That's like the PSA. That's why I'm like, I just got my replacement cart today, and it's sitting out there in the not sitting out, but like in the whatever the hell, like in the mailbox that every neighborhood has like a mailbox that like has a lock on it. Not all, but like mine, whatever. Anyways, so it's like there. It's not like sitting on the front porch. I would have went ahead and grabbed. It wasn't like when I got my VS and I was like watching it through the window of my office, like looking at like timing down like the minutes to go out and grab.
My favorite thing is when you order something and they don't box it up; they just throw a sticker on the box so everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, no, dude, totally. Because I like, what was it, like 5 or so? I don't know, many Christmases ago, like when we got the PS4, I think that they did that because we ordered it from like Sam's and it never arrived. And I think maybe because they did like things, but we were able to get it refunded and got like a better deal.
What was funny was like the last thing that they did that to me that I ordered was a safe. It's like, oh, now everybody knows I have a safe.
So here's the thing with that, right? You get okay, because I'm also you get better perks with Video Games Plus because like the US dollar is worth more than the Canadian dollar, so you're paying less for it. You're ordering it through from Canada. You're not having to pay sales tax like you would Amazon Prime, and you get free shipping. So
yeah, the carts wind up being at the moment cheaper than they would be.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah, you wind up getting free shipping anyway, and it doesn't really take that much longer to get to you.
Exactly.
If any.
Same with Songbird, but you have to pay shipping and sales tax as you're buying it in the U.S. So if you want to support another company, that's great. But I'm just saying, like for me, I did try like their cheaper paid for shipping like a long time. I think you might get it a day or two sooner, but yeah, it's not really.
But as everyone knows, that's not the real reason any of that is none of the reason I'm ordering from Video Games Plus.
Yeah. You don't like PEGI. Yeah, we know.
That was the reason. Yeah. So when I found out, oh, no PEGI logo, that's where I'm ordering from.
Yeah.
I used to order from Amazon. They didn't have it either, but you'd be lucky to get it now at all from them.
Yeah. Because I hate this because it's like if you order from, I don't want to say you'll never get it for Amazon, but Blaze, I don't know, Blaze doesn't have the relationship with Amazon that they should. They keep pointing fingers at each other. So I think they're both at fault.
Well, the thing is, like, they'll put out the orders, they'll take the pre-orders, and then when it comes time to fill it, they don't have the product for whatever reason. So that's why it gets delayed, because they don't have it to ship to you.
Yeah.
Who's to blame? Who knows?
Yeah. There's like a miscommunication with, but like I think I think and maybe because they're smaller companies, but I know like with Video Games Plus, Marley Sonberg, it's like, all right, everybody who wants to order one is going to be able to get it, and then I like my advice I tell people, as soon as they announce the pre-order, within those 2 weeks. Actually, you can even put in your order up until the end, like towards the release date. Put in your order before then, and then you'll probably get it.
Wait, what perks do you get from Amazon Prime that I'm not even aware of because I have Amazon Prime and I still won't order?
No, Amazon, like you don't earn points or anything. Amazon Prime just gives you free shipping. That's it, really. Like sometimes
and free shipping and speedier shipping. But that is pointless when you're not going to get it for weeks anyway.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Just tell her like you're paying less. You're getting the free shipping plus it's cheaper. That's not an automatic lose. Yeah. Oh, when's your next live stream? Phantom wants to know.
Oh, when's my next live stream? Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon will be my next live stream. We're going to be doing a Good Times with Great Friends. Not exactly sure what the topic's going to be, but it's just going to be me and Gunsy. We're going to be hanging out. Then probably later on that night, I'm going to try to do. I talked with Danae about the new year and starting the new year, and our conversation ended with Tuesday nights being if I was going to do a live stream on a night, on the channel for just my channel. And then Tuesday was going to be the day I should do it. So Tuesday nights might be some cool things happening over on the channel. So check that out as well. Yeah, we got some other stuff coming on too. I was actually just looking up some lunar walkthrough guides because we're going to be starting that very soon. And what I want to do is so that we don't have to like sit through most of the cinematics in the very beginning, because it's like almost like 20 minutes worth of cinematics. I think I'm going to do that as an episode on the channel just by itself to start off the completion quest. So that way when we're playing, it could just be, like just the generic gameplay and stuff like that when we're playing on Karg.
Nice.
So, and then speaking of Karg. Yeah, we should probably be getting a Karg in. Possibly this Thursday. I think I think I'm open. So if you're open, I'm open. So we should.
I think you were like last Thursday on Christmas. I think you were like in an undisclosed location, if I remember.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, well, I mean, I think the undisclosed location was actually here, but we were just wrecked. There was all sorts of crazy stuff was going on for the.
Yeah. So. It's kind of funny. Like it's kind of funny. Like I just like telepathically, I just knew that, so I didn't even. Well, because we kind of talked about it, and I figured with something like that, like usually like something like you would have let me know, and usually if he does it, I'm like, okay, you've got something busy, or if I don't let him know,
busy. So we'll have to do that because that actually works out perfect for the month of January. So if we were able to do this Thursday and then skip a week like we normally do, and then that following Thursday, it's the Thursday right before I wouldn't be able to do one anyway, because the last weekend in January I'm in AC for a convention, so work related. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
I think international. They saw. You know what I need. You know what I need to do. I should really make a video about, because like Pete like showed like some really cool like images and everything. I should probably that would be like the one company I would actually even do like affiliate links, because I really like them that much. And then that would be an excuse for me to put them in the description. But they're like a mom and pop video game store, and I think so. I don't, but like their customer service is excellent. That's all I can.
It's very cool.
Tell you that. Woohoo! But yeah, I learned about them from Pete when I was having trouble for like getting from other and I've used them and I've never gone back.
Yeah.
How do you buy stuff? Sorry. Because like no, it's kind of off topic. No, because like we use like credit cards, but we pay it off, and like it's more like we rarely use like debit cards, because debit cards you don't have as much security. But yeah, you get. I mean, probably like that 5% back with Amazon Prime. Actually, I want to say like Video Games Plus, you get points. Like I think for every $100 you spend, you get like $5 credits. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, you downloaded some of those Get Out game. Oh, like probably. Like what? Like which? Yeah, I played like Rogue 2, Rotato. I don't know. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad that you enjoyed. Them. Ooh.
Yeah, the guitar engine's pretty cool.
Huh. I just noticed that comment, Rich, that the Gung Ho writes working designs translation of Lunar, but they won't.
Yeah, well, that's the age old thing. Vic has been like that for as long as I've known the existence of Victor Island. So, and that goes back way, way, way before any days that people may or may not know. I used to talk to Victor Ireland all the time on the forums. He used to have his own like forum like back in the day, and me and a couple of friends from high school would go back and forth, and we just chill and like talk to him and stuff like that. And we're always trying to like of course needle him for more information. Like, hey, like where's Lunar 3? Like let's do all this other stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, it'll be great. I just got to work out the right deal. And of course, like the deal never happened. And then we're talking about me in high school. That's like 30 years ago. That we were talking to this dude. And then for 30 years, he's just like, as long as somebody can hit the right money mark, I'll do whatever. So, I mean, it's much gung ho as it is Victor Island. At this point, because I'm sure the amount of zeros that he wants to get the translations over to gung ho is something that gung ho doesn't want to pay. So, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. I think at this point, just for the good of the fans and for the good of the retro community, if you want to, because since they're doing that project where they're doing the remaster, I mean, work something out so you can have at least the toggle, or like do a deal later so you can patch it in or something like that. I think that would be cool. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame because they're great games, So.
Well, you know what? Like another option would be, because there are like a lot of fan translations out there. So if they could acquire the rights to the Japanese ROM and have something in the contract saying that like they're allowed to translate it and do whatever they want, find some of the people who did these translations, who did it for free, pay them. Like, yes, it's not by the official, or just use some other company, use some other people just to localize it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like some people that are fans of Lunar in the Americas, in North America, like are fans of Lunar because of the way Working Designs translated. Like they put in all sorts of like weird kitschy jokes and like things that are like like they're maybe or may not be considered off color now. But they're like references to things that happened like during that time when the game came out. And I think it's fun and it's cool to like have a historical like things in there. But because Working Designs wrote that, even if they like, oh hey, we'll retranslate it, and they retranslated it the exact same way, the Victor Ireland could sue them because it's technically their copyright. They hold the copyright to their words that came out of and all the recordings, even though the voice actors could re-record their own voice, which actually some of them are working with Gung Ho. They can't say the same things in the same way because those are also copyright. But
yeah, see, that's
like,
I guess it all depends on the license. And to your point, they did it that way on purpose.
Exactly, and it's exactly right.
So I know what you mean. Like if they use another translate, like if you're going for that true like retro nostalgia experience that you remember, yes, well the game will be played and you'll have a good time. For people like you who are super fans who are like in on it, like it won't like if I played it, since I never did, I might not notice. Right. But I know what you mean. Though, but then their market is for people like you, so it's I see what you mean. It's kind of
it's the same thing. And in RMGB was talking about like Lunar Dragon Song, and how like that was going to be like a new version of a new retelling of the first story, and it was supposed to be really cool. And it didn't work out because the translation was all bungled up. But for things like Lunar DS and maybe even these retranslations and all that kind of stuff, that's how that's how you do your work around to get it on things like the Evercade. Because I've been beating the drum for a Working Designs collection for Sega CD games for forever for the Evercade. And at this point it's probably never going to happen because the money's too much. But wouldn't it be cool? It would, because it'd be great. It'd be great games. You can get them for an affordable price. Because I mean, who's going to spend like Lunar on Sega CD, Lunar 1 on Sega CD is still plus with a good complete in box. It's still plus $150. Lunar 2 still plus $250, something like that. They $300. Popful Mail, like last time I checked, was still in the $200-$300 range. All those games are great. You put them all in a collection for $20. Hooray! But dude, it's never going to happen.
I want to say you might be even generous with those prices, because I think a while ago, maybe like a year ago, we looked on Carg, and I think those were ones that either like they weren't quite complete or they were like in medium or low condition, and some of them were like disc only. Yeah,
so. Exactly. Yeah, and at a high price. The reason I have this one is because the disc is a little bit banged up and it doesn't have a front cover. It has the entire manual, but it doesn't have a front cover. But RMGB, yeah, man, you want to talk about some God Shard, because that's pretty cool. Yeah, hit me up. I'll hop on a thing and talk some God Shard. Because that's awesome. Yeah, and so because that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get fans of older stuff working with the composers and the voice actors from Lunar making brand new games, and that's what we're gonna get instead of like getting new Lunar. We're just gonna get that. I cannot wait for God Shard Chronicles. That game is gonna be awesome. And also full disclosure, I'm like a super backer guy, whatever. Like I'm actually gonna have like I'm at that tier where there's gonna be references to like Bacon Ice Cream Productions and stuff in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. But I also do think like a 2-player couch co-op game, that's in the style of like Secret of Mana, Zelda kind of thing. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool.
Nice.
So, but anyway,
glad you'll be using something else.
Yeah.
Huh.
What's up?
And it's kind of fun. No, actually, I was gonna say it's kind of funny. Old school. Like I think like I would. The funny thing is, I would say it kind of reminds me of my father-in-law, but I think he would still use the gift card person. But I'm not like yeah, dude. Watch my latest video. Yes, I did capture footage of the chromatic. I've done that live. Actually, what I had to do, I couldn't get the camera angle right to show off the screen without stuff like looking weird. I don't know. It could be my phone, but like when I was like filming it made Tetris have like wavy lines, and it made like Super Mario Land. And when I went back to watch the footage, I was like, ooh, this totally distorts it. So what I had to do is Future Ed had to pop in, and then I went back and I recaptured footage from plugging in the cable, and because I really liked all the things that I said, and I'm like, I can't recreate this, and so I'm just like, I just had Future Ed pop in, and I'm like, if the buttons and the sounds don't match up with the game, but yeah, I have done that. Anyone think Evercade will have a curveball this year, like an oddball license? They always will. They always will. Like for me, I think I'm getting more to the point where I think I'd like more like the nostalgia, like kind of, it took me a moment to remember like Sunsoft Collection 2. Like I never played Euphoria growing up, but there was like the nostalgia there from Sunsoft, and that ended up being one of my favorite games. And even like for experiences, and even like Tomb Raider. So I think for me, like, well, I still do love Discovery. I think I am looking forward just to like some like nostalgia. RGB TV, yeah, you're absolutely right. You do have to plug it into the cable, or the volume on that. Like when I've been streaming with the volume on that damn thing is so loud. If you hold it near your microphone, it'll probably pick it up. They made a lunar. Oh, they made a lunar game for GBA or India. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was Lunar Dragon Song. Yep, Rigatoni. Yeah, that was RMGB TV was talking about that. That was I bought that game. I bought a DS because Lunar Dragon Song came out. That was the reason why I finally broke down and got a DS.
How long does it take to beat those Lunar games? Like how many hours do they last usually?
The first one is probably 10 or 12 hours. The second one's way bigger. Okay. Way bigger. It's probably double that, 30, 40 hours.
That doesn't seem very long for an RPG for some reason.
Yeah. And then but then like Lunar Silver Star Story Complete and Eternal Blue Complete, the ones that are on PlayStation, those games are way bigger too because they added like all sorts of crazy stuff.
Is that just like the base time just to fly through the game, or is it including just side quests and stuff?
Yeah, it's basically if you just blew through the story, you get it done. And that doesn't include like level building and all that kind of stuff. Like if you level grind, I mean obviously you could spend days level grinding, but
yes.
which I will do, by the way. For both if I get a copy of Eternal Blue on Sega CD, but I will for the completion quest run, I will be doing that for Civil Star 100%. So
I think this year I have with RPGs because I realized like the ones that you've done like completion quests on, like you played as a kid, and so like you're very like you've either like played through them or beaten them, like you're very familiar with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
with the exception of Golden Axe Warrior, like I played the wheels off that game, but I never beat it.
Right, so, but I mean I think like you're familiar enough with the story and with the guides that like if you were to stop playing, like if you like got busy and were to stop playing it, let's say for like a few weeks or a month, you could jump back in and not kind of be like, oh crap, where am I in this? You know what I mean? Like if you've had that experience where you haven't played an RPG for a while and you're like, ooh, I don't know what to do, where I'm going, and then sometimes you have to start over a save. So I think that could be a challenge too. Like when you're playing an RPG, not just the time, but like if you're not as familiar with it, you might have to either research back where you left off, or
But well, speaking of that RMGB TV, if I can get a translation by the time I finish Eternal Silver Star. I will play Eternal Blue on Saturn because my Pilot Mega will play it, which is great. Yeah. So yeah.
I forget. I forget that thing is a jack of all trades. It can play a lot of systems and play them well. I forget that.
Yeah, and I've got the Saturn version of Silver Star Story as well.
Sweet.
And then Walking School, which I actually installed. But yeah, man. I mean, obviously these are all Japanese, so like it's almost impossible to play without a translation.
Still, the price, even though the cost of certain Japanese games are going up, it's like, no, I think you did a smart thing. Like you got them when the price is right. And you're like, well, hopefully
I got those in a bundle from somebody who was trying to get rid of them.
Yeah,
like $60. I got all three. It was sweet.
Yeah.
But
someone asked, will it be showcase? Yes, Sean. He'd be doing smaller showcases, right? Like I don't think they'll show like the whole roadmap, but they'll do smaller.
Correct. Yep.
Smaller showcases.
Yep.
Rigatoni!
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good to see you too, man.
Yeah,
hanging in.
Rigatoni is like a real cool guy. Like I don't know most people. I think maybe I've shared this like early on or a while ago. Like Rigatoni like reached out like, hey, he's like, I like to talk retro stuff. And then I had like a few hour like conversation. Pretty cool. Like a long, like on Discord, like a long time.
Yeah.
Time ago. So, yeah, that's why
I still remember when we had the call-in line?
Yes.
Yeah, and then Rigatoni was trying to leave a message. He called me while I had the family and like a Wendy's or something on a trip to Florida.
Yes,
that was a great day.
Yeah, we might have to figure out a way to bring that back to Karg.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the number's still active. So.
Yeah,
we'll have to test it out.
Tested that, you see. Yeah, I think he was like one of the few people that was like consistently like.
Yeah, it was good. It was good times.
Wow,
but
dude, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, man. Oh man, Phantom. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're. The only thing though is that would be the most Jets thing to do, is to beat the Dolphins, and then like send them packing as a spoiler, and then that's it, and that's the last game that you will ever see Rodgers in. I don't think he's coming back next year. It's sad.
Oh, sorry. So you know what? I'm glad that you've said this, Dan. Right? Because here's kind of what I wish what Blaze, and let me put it this way. And like I kind of feel like someone like myself, if I can make, if I have a dedicated channel to Evercade, and a lot of us make Evercaded videos, and it's not like my full-time job, and I do it for fun, then the actual company could do more. And here's what I think here's what I would do if I was Blaze. What I would do is I would do some teasers, like here's some Neo Geo games that I would be like, here's what you can expect in 2025. And then maybe highlight one or two games, maybe make them a few minutes long, and then all of us would jump on our excitement and talk about it, and then the algorithm would push it more. And then when the actual cart comes, like, dude, I would love to kind of glom onto that content. Like, I've actually been hoping kind of more. I wish they would do more of that instead of like, here's a minute trailer, here's 10 seconds of each game. Yeah, I would love them to do that, like much.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think they need. I think especially with something like Neo Geo, and I think like they can't do that enough, right? Like I kind of know, like with the Mod Retro Chromatic, they like for a while, like once a week, they had like on their channel, they had some guy like streaming their stuff, and they had talked about it. Yeah, I think Blaze, like they kind of need to hype up that stuff more and give them, like I like how they said SNK is coming. Like that's great. Like they now kind of like give a teaser what games. You don't even have to tell us when they're coming out or what collections they're on. Just tease us some games. Let us speculate. Like, oh my god, let that buzz kind of go through. And then I think you'd have people out there that are like, oh hey, this might be kind of cool. I might want this type of thing. Rigatoni asked, like, can't they do does the Polymega like translate? Do they have to be in a certain format, or can they take any translation that's out there?
You can load just about any translation that's out there. You just have to make sure that it is completed, because there are some games that are popular that are like half completed, 3/4 completed, like that kind of thing. So it's up to the community to actually do the translation patching. But yes, if they exist, then yeah, you just pop them on like a flash drive or whatever, pop them in the Mega, just load it, done. So
yeah, that would be a bummer to get like a third or halfway through the game and then realize you can't finish it because of the.
that actually happened to me once. I was playing like Final Fantasy VI or something, and about halfway through the game, all the translation just turned to gibberish.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, I can't play anymore. Oh well.
Oh, he's lurking in the shadows, like all of us do. I like what's on the. Yeah, here's my only issue with that. They do like the okay. Here's and this is just strictly my opinion. I want to know. So when they do what's on the cart at that point, like for me, like the hype is over. Like they've already told us in 1 minute. Like they should be doing the opposite. That's what I'm saying. Like they should be doing the opposot of that. Like just so like
wouldn't the opposite be not telling you at all what games are on it until you buy it and get it?
No, like the video
that would be the exact opposite.
No, they're releasing the wrong order. Like they should have a video saying Topolan 4 coming out later this year. Here are 3 games that are on the cart. Then go into detail. Then as it gets closer to the release date, then show the minute. Then kind of show the minute trailer. That's what I like. They have the reverse order.
I don't. No. That seems backwards to me. Why would I want to see? Why show a teaser trailer after the regular trailer? Like think about a movie. Why? Like if they did that with the movies, that would be really weird. It's like they show like a full 1 minute trailer, and then they're going to show after like a month later a 15-minute teaser. What's the point of the teaser? You already know what's in the cart.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like that that it's not like the hype isn't there, and that's why like if they show just like a couple of games, or even if they highlighted one game and just said later this year, it could be a 5-minute video, and just keep us guessing what cart, but they're saying like definitely it's going to come out. That would raise more hype and awareness. They're doing it back. Maybe they're doing it back.
I don't think that'll make any sort of difference at all. Like them saying, "Hey, here's one game that's going to come out. We're not going to tell you when or what cartridge, but it's going to come out."
I think it would, dude. I think it like
I wouldn't care. And then by the time it actually did come out, I wouldn't care anymore because I'd already known about it forever.
Well, that's kind of like what they do with the Indie Heroes, except you can play the game throughout the whole year, and that's one of their more popular collections.
And that's one of I really don't play those as Game of the Month because I know they're going to come out later.
But we're not. I know I get you don't, but like for the masses of people, like I think there'd be more hype around, like saying like, oh, like if
I don't think so because after it's Game of the Month and then it comes out in the cartridge, like hardly anybody talks about the game at that point because I've already played it when it was Game of the Month.
But that's because it's Indie Heroes, but something popular like SNK, if they it's like if they put it out there like, hey, you're definitely getting Metal Slug this version, you're definitely getting this later this year, a lot of channels would be talking about it. There'd be a lot of like hype.
Here's why I highly doubt that is because here's the Metal Slug, you're gonna get this later this year. Everybody's gonna be like, great, I've already played Metal Slug. Or if you hadn't played Metal Slug, there's thousands of ways to play it right now.
Sure, but that's not the point. That's why I keep saying about like the disconnect. It's the physical media. It's actually having a physical.
It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, you have that in physical media, but the fact is you can play the game. It's not going to be any different.
Right, but that's the whole point of Evercade is having physical media. There's no other and having an official collectible. So the point having it being licensed. There's no other point.
The point is, I got the game on a physical cartridge now. Great.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
That's it.
There's like a disconnect. That's like this is why Rich has the Poly Mega, so he can play all the physical games, have something cool on the show. The collectible part. That's why
it's collectible. But unless you're like just making videos showing the collection, then there's not really nothing really stops me from making a video on Metal Slug right now.
Yeah, but we don't know that that's an official. I mean, and you could.
We don't know, but even if they announced even if they just announced it, here's a game coming out on the Evercade later, Metal Slug.
But
I can play it.
But it's a difference when it's official. Like that's why I said there's a disconnect. Like everything. Like when it's official, that's where we know we're getting this game. That's where the hype is. We know we're getting this physical cart. All the collectors out there and everybody would be talking. It would go through the YouTube algorithms and stuff like that.
I guess I just don't see the hype of getting a physical copy of a game that I could already play.
And then that's why and that's the hilarious. That's like what the hilarious thing is. We say like, why do you own an Evercade? That's like kind of like that's kind of been
Because it
like
was
the
cheap.
joke.
That's why it was cheap.
Yeah. I mean, there is like the plug and play. Maybe you like it for the plug and play part. There's that too.
There are the games that are on there that you wouldn't have ever played before, or sometimes they do appear on the Evercade before you could play them anywhere else. But that's like really just regulated to the indie games for the most part.
Like Euphoria. I'd never played. I never knew that game existed by Sunsoft. Yeah, so there's definitely
when they announced it, nothing was to stop you from getting the ROM and playing it.
Oh, that was very nice. Hey, Evercade, I've been a fan of you guys for a long time, since day one. Awesome,
Sweet.
I love that. Thanks, Mike Canar. If I'm saying that wrong. So here's okay. I was gonna say, Game Freak, don't jinx us. But really, there's only one thing that they could do to mess this up, and is if they didn't have physical cards. That would be the only thing, I think.
Isn't that what they're doing with the alphas and super pockets?
Yeah.
No physical cards for some of those games?
Correct. But that would be I talked about this in one of my videos, and I'll say it again because I think it's important that like Neo Geo games are always on some type of physical cart, whether the console or the arcade. And so being that Evercade has physical cart, I guess that's the perfect combo. And if for some reason a Blaze couldn't do that, like if that was the only way that they could get this license, they should have turned it down, because I'll say this. This is the one IP that 100% aligns with Evercade's philosophy of having physical media. And if they don't have physical media, that would be like the biggest faux pas. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they know that. Like, they're not dumb. Like they know that. That doesn't mean maybe we might have certain only games like locked to a device. I'm fine with that as long as we get physical cards. Damn it. Thanks, dude. You can call me Nar. No, but like, because the other thing, like on Karg, me and Rich, we read through the whole like press release, and we've also talked about that like in detail. Like they mentioned we're gonna have this and this, and they've talked about all their various consoles, and yes, technically they could back out of that, but agree 100% with what you're saying about their press releases and all that. That I doubt they'd go against that. You know what I mean? So it's like I really doubt they would go against what they've laid out like in the press release, and they've talked about the different systems. Like if they put Capcom versus SNK locked behind a device, fine. It is a good game. It's not like their best game, or like I don't think their most nostalgic game. So
wait, Capcom versus, you mean SNK versus Capcom? SVC
Yes.
Chaos.
Yes,
That's
which is a cool
which
game.
I don't think will be on there, since you need Capcom along for the ride as well.
Exactly.
Even though that game was published by SNK.
Well, it's just like we're not going to get Super Dodgeball because I think Technos owns the rights to that, which really sucks.
Yeah, but that could be a possibility, since we already have we have 2 Technos cartridges.
Yes. But it just depends. Like if they sell a cart for $20, and then Technos might be like, okay, well for that one game I want $5 per cart, and then they'd be like, well that's too much of I don't know, making up numbers. Don't muck this. Have faith. Listen, for all the crap that I talk about, I know, like, because they're gamers at heart too. Like, dude, like, man, you know, they're not gonna mess this up, guys. It's an investment. They're not gonna mess it up. You know, for the last like 4 years, I've like, you know, like I think all of us, and I've like made videos and talked about like we need Neo Geo. Neo Geo would be the one thing to like kind of put Evercade more on the map. And and to like raise that popularity, and I think it will, because it's nostalgia, it's arcade. Like most people, like that's the thing. Like either if you didn't own a Neo Geo and you want it, or you've played it in the arcade, or you've heard about it, like
they could still mess this up. Of course, Neo Geo, it opens up a whole can of worms. What versions of these games are we going to get? Are we going to get the versions of Samurai Showdown and Metal Slug with no blood? You know, with the US versions, or are we going to get like some other version? Are we going to be able to select what version? Are we going to get the home console version? Are we going to get the arcade versions? Like what I would hope is that for each game we get to choose that option. What would suck though is if they chose for us and they chose the worst version.
You know what? I don't say this too often, Crow. I agree with you 100%. That's the way it should be, as you mentioned earlier, because all the different versions were on the carts with the Unibio. Like, yeah. No, because that was the cool thing. If you have, if you have like I think if you have like a U.S. console and you put in the Japanese version, it'll still work, but I think it'll be in the local language of that console. So you should.
The region selection was basically in whatever device you were putting it in.
Yes, exactly.
Like, yeah, you had the NVS and the AES were not compatible, but it was only because it just, I think it was because either the pins were switched around or something. There was some reason for it, but a simple adapter would let you plug it in.
Well,
and if you plugged an AES cartridge into an MVS, you still played the MVS versions because those versions were on there.
I think they did that on purpose because I think maybe they didn't want like arcade owners just buying the AES version for cheap. I don't know if it was cheaper and just like plugging that in.
Actually, I think the AES was the first version of the Neo Geo, and then they made the MVS version. From what I remember, the whole story about the Neo Geo, it was originally intended to just be something you can rent in certain hotels.
Yeah. Or like companies would rent them for like parties and
So it wasn't really never really intended for a consumer base to start with.
Yes.
And then they did expand out that way, and then also put them in. And since they were so comparable to what was in the arcades at the time, they actually put out the MVS. And that just kept going from there, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's the way that it should be, and hopefully we'll get there. Hopefully they can.
The whole reason those cartridges were not compatible was because the MVS versions for the arcade operators were actually more expensive than they were for the home user, which was still expensive because you're still talking $200 a cartridge at the time.
Yes.
But the ironic part now is that the MVS cartridges are usually cheaper than the AES versions.
I think because they sold more of them. Because it was something arcade operators, they had more of the money. Yeah, 100%. That's what I was thinking. Like they didn't want somebody just to take an AES cart. They didn't want like an arcade, like mom and pop arcade, to buy the AES carts and put them in and not pay for.
Also, they should come out with an adapter so I could use my Neo Geo memory card.
Does that actually work?
Yeah, it works.
Sweet.
That's awesome. It's my card from when I had a Neo Geo. It was the only thing I kept when I sold it off.
Dude, that is super cool. That would be like the prize thing I had in my collection. That's awesome.
But the whole point of that too was you could take that to the arcade and then save your game, take it home, and continue playing it at home if you wanted.
Yes, yeah. No, I knew like a friend of mine, his brother, like he had one of the, didn't have the home console, but he had one of those just to like use in the arcade. So, but yeah, you had the home console. No, that was like really, really cool. And that's what I mean. It aligns like kind of like in the similar philosophy with like you could take the Evercade cart, put it in any system, and the save is still there. So that's what I mean. Like this so aligns with all that stuff.
Well, with save states, you really don't need memory card support.
Yeah, exactly. But your saves and high scores, hopefully they, So I think it needs to be the arcade. Like they're gonna do the arcade version. Like it needs to be the arcade version.
It has, it does have to be the arcade version. Yeah, I'd be disappointed if it was the AES versions that we got. But still, I think that we should have the option to select which version for each game.
Yeah, if we get the Unibios, there's no reason that I agree. Like, there's no reason not to have that.
Yeah, I don't know if they would be allowed to use that or not. That's another can of worms.
Or to your point too, Crow, being that it is a partnership, like SNK can just say yes, and they can build in like the dips. They can build that functionality into the.
Yeah, they could build it in, like if you select the game, you can go and select the dip switches before you boot into the game.
Ooh, you know what?
Which is what I think they might be doing for all the arcade games at some point too.
Maybe that's why we have. Oh, holy crap! You know what? Maybe that's why we haven't seen the dip switch update. To your point, maybe they're waiting to do that for Neo Geo and like all arcade cards.
Well, the thing with the Neo Geo though, this wasn't a dip switch; it was just built into the hardware, and it would just automatically play.
I know. But I think Blaze will make it. I think like you'll be able to go into the ROMs and go under settings.
But like even for like the Neo Geo arcade games, you could usually set how difficult the game was, and it would say at the bottom of the screen what level it was set at. So if we had that ability to select how difficult. Yeah, I think that would be the best thing. Just give us all the options possible. That's the best thing they could possibly do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
and I think for the
I'm gonna head out because
you know what?
This doggy man is like bothering me a lot, which means he probably has to go out. So
yeah. No, I'm 5 minutes past, but no, this was awesome. I'm glad all of us were able to get together, have the first show of the new year and all that. But yeah, we should go ahead. We should go ahead and call it. Yeah, I need to head out and jump off too. But this has all been awesome. Happy all of us have been great discussions, everybody. I should be streaming tonight. Subscribe to all of our channels, follow us, all that good stuff if you haven't, and we will see you all later.
See you, man.
Thanks, Crash Line, Mr. Shua, Immortal Sojourn, Sucker MC, Ember Cummings, Joe Whitlash.